Hey, what's going on? Hope you had a good long weekend. So we'll pick up right where we left off with Gasp. Hopefully, we had a good class discussion. If you remember on Friday, 3 days ago, I guess the big thing, well, two big things, we probably talked about it. One, probably the dad, at least his stuff caused the fire. Doesn't look like anybody said it, at least right now. And then Sawyer and Jules are going to visit Tori, and it seems like she's the one with the vision. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that. We kind of already know, right, that it's probably has something to do with the drowning, but let's get into it. It's right at the top. Her mom is in the room, so that could be a little awkward. And we're going to start right up there. Yeah, page 14. Yeah, Tori says. She looks uncomfortable. Oh, the last thing I think Jules said was like, hey, I got your text. Yeah, Tori says. She looks uncomfortable. And I don't know what to do. Tori's mom is paging through a magazine. I mouthed the words, do you want to talk about this now? Tori's eyes flit over to her mother, then back to me. She nods. Yeah, she says. She knows. It's impossible to read her face, and she's not giving us anything. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I say, we told you about Sawyer seeing a vision as a sort of after effect of the shooting, right? Tori nods. Are you seeing a vision? Sawyer asks. Maybe. I don't know. But you're seeing something, like a reflection or on TV or in the windows? Sawyer leans forward. Mrs. Hayes looks up. The doctor believes it's a side effect of the drugs. She says in a firm voice, and I agree. Ooh, seems like the mom wants to put a stop to this. Mom, please. Sawyer sits back. Well, he looks at me, scrambling, not knowing what to say. Right at the top there. I don't know what to say either. I wish Tori's mom would go away so we could talk. But we've never seen Tori without her mother here. She never leaves. She even has a cot set up. I take a breath. I say, I think I need to give you some information that is going to sound really weird. I bite my lip and glance at Sawyer. He shrugs. You see, I say, it all started with me, and I give her the entire story, even going into the part where Sawyer got his vision. All right, so luckily we don't have to get that recapped. The author knows now, we're solidly into this book. She already did at the beginning of the book, talking, I think it was to Ben, right? Telling about the visions. So now the reader's caught up. It's like I'll talk about Marvel again, but it's like Spider-Man. Like, we don't need to have his origin story again. So if you know with the Tom Holland stuff, I don't think we ever see him get bit by a spider. But in Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire, there's like, okay. So I think when they made the Far From Home, Homecoming, they were like everybody knows he got bit by a spider. Let's go. So it's here. Like, we don't need to recap it. If you're reading the book, like you should, from page 1 to the end, you know this. So let's gloss over it. All right, here we go. Back to the highlighted part. You see, all right, and how we save people because we prevented the shooting from being worse. And that's when Tori's mom stops us. She stands up and says, "That's enough." I swallow hard. My daughter has been through a tremendous amount of pain and stress. You're not making her any better with your crazy theories, and you're making light of the fact that my daughter almost died. This isn't a joke. If you two really are seeing things, I think you should tell your parents and go to the doctor immediately so you can be treated. Ooh. Mom, Tori whispers, but then she gives up. Like, she knows it's futile. She sinks into the pillows and puts her arm over her eyes. We are motionless, absorbing the words. After a moment, Sawyer stands. He touches my shoulder. Come on, Jules, he says in a gentle voice. He turns to Tori's mom. We're really sorry to have bothered you, Miss Hayes. I get to my feet too. Yes, we're sorry. It was a mistake. I look at Tori. I apologize if we upset you. You didn't. It's fine, Tori says. She lifts her arm. Mom, don't. Miss Hayes ignores the plea and ushers us to the door. There's no need for you to visit again, she says, as if she's the decider of what we do. I mask this panic in my eyes and nod. All right. She closed the door behind us, and we walk in silence to the elevator and out to Sawyer's car. Oh, I totally blew it, I say, once Sawyer is navigating the streets once more, heading home. Now what? I lean back against the seat's headrest. I don't know. I'm pissed off. It's not like we forced her to listen to us. She contacted you, and you gave her an opportunity to not talk about it because her mom was there, but she didn't take it. How are we going to figure this one out? Or not? Sawyer says. He steps hard on the gas to merge onto the highway. But we have to. It's over, Jules. There's nothing we can do. We're not allowed to come back. She's not going to talk to us. Not now. We don't even have a hint of what this one's about. I scrunch in my seat and scowl. I do not accept this. Okay, Sawyer says with a wry grin, but there's nothing we can do. Your responsibility has ended. We're done. Funny how I don't feel at all relieved. 15. And it seems like you probably have heard this term before. It's helicopter mom, right? So it seems like Tori's mom is kind of a helicopter mom, just always kind of floating around there, making decisions for her daughter. Now, who knows? Did this happen before the shooting, or is it just her mom's reaction to like trying to protect her child because she almost died? You know, that could be, but just trying to get into the psychology of it all. Who knows? But I think that is a very real reaction. So maybe was she must have been a college student, right? Before. So her mom let her go to college. So she's probably this is something new. All right. Back to this. 14? 15. 15, right up here. Oh, what about the ads here? Diabetes. Here is how you can keep your blood sugar under 100. Okay, it looks like eggs. And then I don't remember her. I do not know her. Maybe you do. Remember her? Take a deep breath before you see what she looks like now. All right, 15. I gaze through the car window as we get closer to Melrose Park, and then I text Tori. Can you at least tell me what happens in your vision? I promise I will leave you alone. She doesn't respond. Sawyer and I meet up with Trey and Rowan at the library so we can get our homework done in relative peace, even though it's a Friday night. I think we're all tired of hanging out at Aunt Mary's. And besides, I need something to read now that my books are all burned. Are all burned toast? Should be all burned to toast. And it's there at the library that I get a response. I don't know if I can stand this. It's been going on since I woke up after the shooting. Guys, look. I show the message to the others. What the heck? Sawyer mutters. I don't get it. Seems obvious, Rowan says. She can't talk in front of her mom. So she can only tell you important things via text, like when her mom is in the bathroom or sleep, probably. But why would she make us go all the way over there if she wasn't going to talk anyway? Sawyer asks. I don't know, Rowan says. Maybe she's sneaky, and she thought she'd be able to get rid of her mom for a little bit, but it didn't work. Spoken like a pro, Trey remarks. Rowan sticks out her tongue at him. Well, that's a little juvenile, isn't it? Sticking out your tongue. And it seems that she is not that innocent. Sawyer tilts his head thinking, yeah, maybe Rowan is right. Tori realized she doesn't have the support she thought she had from her mom. Now she can only text when her mom isn't around. Wouldn't surprise me if Miss Hayes looks over Tori's shoulder and reads every text she sends. He pauses. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great. Mrs. Hayes has dropped everything to be at her daughter's side. It just seems like she's gone a little overboard. So what should I reply? I asked. Just tell her we can stop the visions only if she tells us everything? I shake my head, trying to imagine getting all the info we need from her text messages. Yeah, Trey says. Don't waste time asking her what's up with her mother. Just get right to the point. I type, we can help, but we need to know everything about your vision so we can stop the tragedy from happening. It's a tragedy of some sort, isn't it? I look up, my finger hovering over the send button. Okay? Everybody nods. I press the button. Yes, comes the reply. Sawyer groans. Oh, come on, Tori, give us something. Hold on, she's typing, I say. We stare, breathless, waiting to find out what our next impossible mission will be. I think I'm going to throw up, Sawyer whispers. Me too. I say, and finally, must hurry. There's a house, sirens, ambulance, paramedics taking bodies out on stretchers. I read the text aloud and then type, do you see any street signs? What kind of house? Is there a house number? How many bodies? Can you tell what's wrong with them? I look around the group. Okay. They nod. I send. We wait. She doesn't reply. After a few moments of silence, all of us, willing my phone to vibrate, willing Tori's name to show up on my screen, we give up and try to do our homework for a while. This is agonizing, Rowan says, as the library closes in 10 minutes. Recording breaks our concentration. We pack up and make our way through the teen section, each of us grabbing a few books to borrow, stop at the checkout desk. You see? You see what they're doing? They're reading. They're borrowing books. I really hope, let me just play English teacher here for a second, okay? Read over the summer. I'm sure, you won't. It would be nice. Borrow some books from the library because, I don't know, it just helps you so much. You wouldn't believe. So if you're a good reader, you are going to do better in high school. And the only way to become a good reader is to do like what we do every day, and that's to read. Text on the screen. I mean, some people don't look up at the text. It's not helping as much, but looking at the text while I'm reading on the screen, and then this summer, find some books. That's a hard part too, is like finding the books you really like. But even this kind of reading is going to make you become a better reader. And better readers are less likely to like drop out of school, finish school. I mean, the reading is just so important. You get introduced to different ways of speaking. You get introduced to vocabulary you've never seen before. And as long as you know most of the words on the page when the new one shows up, you're like, okay, I kind of know what that means. Context clues. English teachers talk about that all the time. And I know if you're like an honors English, I think you do have some work to do over the summer, but I'm already getting my summer reading. I got at least 2 books that I want to read. You probably don't care, but one actually I ordered coming soon, I think, called Life by a guitarist for the Rolling Stones named Keith Richards. And then I'm going to read a play by Shakespeare called Twelfth Night this summer. And, that should help. And then I got my Italian to read too. But yeah, so I encourage you. Hopefully your parents are encouraging you because I can say it all day long, but unless your parents are like, hey, yeah, you should read, it really doesn't matter, does it? So hopefully you are reading. All right. Speaking of reading, let's get back to this and find a good stopping point. I think we're close. So I almost did it again. I almost didn't put the page up here. So we were at the gray part here. We pack up. Yeah. Once outside, right there. Once outside, I look at my phone again and try to make sure I didn't miss anything. I echo Rowan's words. It's agonizing. Must be for Tori too, especially since it seems like she thought it was okay to talk about this in front of her mom. I think back to my vision, how horrible and alone I felt. And that helps strengthen my weakened resolve to help Tori. That's a good right there. Weakened resolve. So if you have resolve, I think we had resolute as one of our vocabulary words. If you have resolve, it means you want to complete this thing. But if it's weakened, it's like not like Saturday and Sunday, weakened, not weekend, although they sound a lot alike. It's just, means like hasn't really been there. You probably with, what do we got? Like 14, 15 days left. You probably have a weakened resolve to finish assignments, right? Maybe some of you had that weekend resolve. I don't know, back in February or something like that, December, beginning of the year. Most people will turn in work. So try to keep up that resolve for a couple more days. You can do it. Maybe this is a good place to stop. So after this, we are going to get into listening to some songs, 3 songs. We'll listen to them. You can listen to them on your own or whatever. I will have videos for them. Looking at the lyrics, we're going to try to analyze like, okay, where's the metaphor is one of the hardest things in poetry. It really is. Because like when we talk about one of the songs, like this girl is on fire, I mean, there's the metaphor is like it's saying like this is actually happening, but it's not literally happening. That's what makes metaphor so difficult, is that the poet is telling you one thing, but it can mean pretty much anything you want. As long as you can get that evidence there, there can be a lot of different interpretations. All right, just like there is with the prose that we're reading, prose, prose that we're reading. All the Lisa McMahon books are written in prose. They're not poetry. The opposite of poetry is prose, which is mostly what we read in this class. But there is a good amount of interpretation in prose, but way more interpretations in poetry. All right, that's it for today.